Clíomh agus tá fáilte roimh chuig an choirí láthair seo faoi oíche Eolais maidir le bliana hain, fiche hain, fiche dó. So you're all very welcome to this presentation for first years, incoming first years 2021-2022. Is mis Crochar Macklin, Príomh de Scoile.
Agus is mis Sarah Newry and Príomh de Tánasteach.
So Principal and Deputy Principal of Coláiste de Híde. So I'm just going to share my screen now. I'm going to start our presentation. So Maralume, as I mentioned, this is our information evening for parents and guardians of our incoming first years. We decided that we would suit best that we recorded this information. We are very grateful for everyone that sent in the questions, and we hope to be able to answer all them questions or most of them questions. And if there's still questions or concerns, there'll be ways and means to contact us in the next few weeks ahead. So we can address your queries and concerns. So a small bit of school context. No Cúlra Scoile, Buniumwyd in Nídeg Nócha Trí. So we're founded in 1993. We are paid under the patronage of the Dublin and Dún Laoghaire Education Training Board that has approximately 30 other post-primary schools under its patronage. We are a multi-denominational school, a Gael Coláiste, and we received JESH status in 2017. Our values, our three main values are Meas, Brod, agus Core, Keeling Shin, respect, pride, and working together. Our main feeder schools come from Scoil Santin, agus Scoil Kathleen Maud, and we are working with Gael Scoil Nagusha, our new Gael Scoil in Fearhouse, and to try and build up our relationship with that school also. The programs we provide are the traditional junior cert, the traditional leaving cert, and a compulsory transition year program. So regarding an ASH2 and our transitioning from primary to post-primary, as a result of COVID, things are not what we had envisaged, but just to fill you in on some of the initiatives that have been taking place. Over the last while, we've had continuous engagement with the primary schools. So I've been down in the schools in consultation with the principal, the 6th class teachers and the whole school liaison officers in the schools, discussing the students that will be coming to us. A few of the schools have managed, even during COVID, to visit our school and to see the school and to understand the experience of coming to Coláiste de Híde and that they can have that in their heads before they arrive in September. The Cat 4 exams we decided a different approach this year, in the sense that the Cat 4 exams, we went to the schools and we went to the halls of Scoil Santin, Scoil Kathleen Maud, and we sat the exams there. And that really is just for us to identify the students that might need extra resources in our planning, our AEN planning for the year ahead. And that would be done by our student support team. So we are on a weekly basis meeting our guidance counsellor, our homeschool community liaison officer, and our SEN coordinator, our additional educational needs coordinator, and myself, the principal, and Sarah, the deputy principal, sitting down and talking about the transitioning and also the Cat 4 exams and any kind of topics that might arise regards to first year 2021. We are in the process of launching our new website, and as a part of that website, there will be a section on incoming first years where the students themselves will be able to log in and discuss the different, to look at the different tips, information, organizational skills, sample timetables, etc. So that we're hoping that website will be up and launched from tomorrow. So we're very excited about that.
So we're very aware that students will be very worried about what supports are available for them when they come into us in Coláiste de Híde next August. So I suppose every student or every class will have a Mútar Ranga, which is their class tutor, which supports that classroom all the time. We have a Ceann, which is a year head who supports the 2 class in that year. And then, of course, you have your normal subject teachers, Gaeilge, Berla, Mata, and you'll get to meet them when it comes to parent-teacher meetings. We have a full-time guidance counsellor and a homeschool community liaison officer who are there to support your students and yourselves, and Cora will touch on parental support in a few minutes. As Cora mentioned, we have our AEN coordinator. We have 5 SNAs, and I'll touch on the mentoring system based on their Kinnery later on again. The Kinnery are there for your students. We've decided this year that they'll stay with them for 2 years as opposed to the 1. So they're 5th-year students that will look after your students for 5th and 6th year while they're in 1st and 2nd year. So there's that support there as well.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I think the Kinnery is a fantastic support system where even in September, mid-September, there's different types of weeks that they organise with the students, friendship weeks, team building and that kind of thing that builds friendship amongst the group, and that they also feel that they have peers, not teachers, that they have these people that they can look up to, these Kinnery, these leaders that they can look up to and confide in if needed. So regards to parental support, so what support is there from you? The main one standing out would be the HCSL, which is the Home Community Liaison Officer, and this is a support available, again, a full-time post where this person would be able to visit every 1st year at some stage throughout the year, the home of each, and discuss things like the GLN, how the diary works, how the app works, any concerns, and bringing these back to our care team meetings where we'll be able to discuss. We hope that parents, when they arrive, or when their son or daughter arrive to Coláiste Híde, that they will be active with the students. So whether that be taking part in classes, whether it be taking part in new initiatives. For example, there is parents at present that are working on the upkeep of the school and gardening and other classes that might show interest, and that will be done in conjunction with the HCSL. Possibly just parents, the support could come from just attending parent-teacher meetings, getting to know over the years the different teachers that we have, and they will take place once a year in our school hall. As Sarah mentioned, 2 main areas of support for parents will be the year head and the class teacher. So should there be an issue, so should something arise, concern, that they be able to contact the year head or classroom teacher. And I suppose communication is key, and we'll touch on that a small bit when we go on about the app, but I think that the students will always flourish when communication is to the fore, with us maintaining constant communication with the home, and the same the other way. We would love for any parents that have the time to take part with our Parents Association, Corda de Híde, which are a very active group in fundraising for the school, and really just being there as a great support for us throughout the year. So beag an faoin na hábhar, so céad na hábhar, so bhí go leor question, a few questions arose based on the subjects. So we are part of this new junior cycle, which is started over the last few years, and as part of that, our mandatory subjects are Gaeilge, English, Maths, History, Geography, and Science. We have 400 hours for our well-being program, and this will address, I'd say, a lot of the possible anxiety that might arise with the transitioning from primary to secondary. And this will take place in the CSB or the SPHE class or the wellbeing class. Stuff like possible, bullying or cyberbullying, and it's celebrating the different weeks, the stand-up week or college awareness week or friendship week will all be done in conjunction with wellbeing. Language choice was chosen on the registration forms. It was the choice of French or German, and a few questions arose in relation to the options. So this year, for the first time in Coláiste Híde, as a result of COVID, we felt that students wouldn't have the opportunity it would be unfair to pick subjects without having tried them, without speaking to the teacher. So we have 2 weeks tasters of each subject, which will last 6 weeks. And you will do 6 in total, so 2 per fortnight. home economics, art, music, business studies, and 2 of the following: wood technology, which is formerly woodwork, engineering, which is formerly metalwork, and graphics, which was also known as tech graphics. And when that finishes, then students will get 2 blocks and will get to choose 2 subjects from the 6 that they have tasted. We're going for the cost sheets and the costs. We have a book scheme from 1st to 3rd year, which is very successful. So parents do not need to worry about what books to buy. We will put in a bulk order at the end of the year, this year, for the new year, and all books will be available come September. So what we ask is to cover the book scheme, to cover the school diary, the school app, materials for options for the likes of woodwork, home ec, etc., and for covering of the lockers, that we would ask €100 per year. Again, we appreciate that times are hard regards to COVID and that, and if anyone would like to speak to us in relation to that, we would be happy to set up a plan for the year. The stationery list will be provided with our next correspondence with regards to copybooks, pens, and that's needed for each subject. A few questions in relation to our iPads and Chromebooks. We have 2 sets of iPads, that's 60 iPads and 30 Chromebooks in school, and certain teachers get great use of these, so there's no need for any parents to purchase either. School insurance usually works out around €8, hasn't been confirmed yet, but that would be, and any monies paid would be on the MIT system. It's a system you log on, create an account, and pay through this system. Our timetable, so our armclar scoile, so Jalún gotí go hína, Thuistí an scoile ag 8 caracha, so 20 to 9, agus bíonn briste seach 3 rang de caracha nóméid, sus an sin, so break ag fe chun na héinteig gotí a héinteig, 3 rang caracha nóméid, so lunch then at 1 o'clock, fa la uair, agus 3 rang caracha nóméid, agus críochnaín an scoile ag lethar 3. And being lahla agin an ina, so we have a half day on a Friday where we finish at 1 p.m. New incentive that started this last year, or the start of this year, was our bus scoile, and it has been very successful, and we're happy to say that this will be continuing. It's been parent-led. They have a page on Facebook. So I think it's Collage to the Hita. And we provide a contribution. So we every student that signs up, we pay €4 per week towards each student, and that comes out of our GESH funding. So anyone that's interested, I would urge you to email schoolbuscdh@gmail.com, and Anne-Marie would be able to help you there with any queries, prices, that kind of thing. The route will be dependent, and we'll try and cover everyone as much as we can. But for example, that's a bit of the route that last year, so starting in Fearhouse and ending up in Collage to the Hita ag 8 Cuig at 8:25. And I think it eased any concerns regards to the public bus service. It's worked really well. Module Cursi Bia, so alone, the school lunches, like a lot of the primary schools, we get our lunch provided with Glamour Foods, where they have a menu where they tick off Monday to Friday what they would like. They get an itemized name bag each morning. And again, as it happens, we are in consultation with Glamour, so we're hoping that in September we will have hot food provided, where at lunchtime there'll be the usual snacks, and at lunchtime hot food is provided each day. And again, that will be covered, and students will have to pay €1 for their daily meals. Sarah.
Leisgel. So the Ada Scullen Shin, the sisters are our main supplier. They're based in Tala Village. But we also have, we've signed up to Uniform Exchange.ie. That's a new initiative led by parents in Dublin, and our school has signed up to it. Now, there might not be anything on it at the moment, but it's for second-hand, jumpers, ties, that kind of thing. So keep an eye out for it. So going through our school uniform, as you'll see in the picture there, we wear the green jumper with the school crest and our school tie. they'll be available from the sisters. The grey trousers and the white shirt are just your normal grey trousers and white shirt, and they can be bought from Dunn's or anywhere like that. The girls have an option to wear either the grey trousers or the school skirt with the green socks, so that's entirely up to you what you decide to wear. Black shoes, we are accepting black runners as long as there's no logos, no coloured markings, as long as they're completely black, so black shoes or black runners. And then our school tracksuit is navy with a school crest, and they wear a red crested polo shirt as well. And like I mentioned, they're all available from the sisters. We've already mentioned our additional education needs resources, and our coordinator is Isabel, and she can be contacted at isabel@cloistehida.ie. She will be getting in contact with certain parents as the end of the year approaches. We have been in contact with the primary schools and are aware of students with additional needs that are coming into us. You can view our inclusion policy on our new website. But I suppose the main thing here is that with our resources, we're not just aiming at students with additional education needs. We put a lot of our hours into team teaching, which is, I suppose, supporting all students in the class. It would mean that there would be 2 qualified teachers in the room in their maths class, their Irish class, English, or whatever it may be, and supporting all students. We sometimes use our hours for one-to-one, so that would be withdrawal, that some students might come out and do extra classes in certain subjects. That's all based on the information, as Croher mentioned, from the CAT4 exams your students sat, and that'll give us an idea for our current timetable where we're going to put our resources into. So our SHOC curriculum or extracurricular activities, unfortunately not many activities have gone on in the past year, but we're hoping that those might change for the coming September. You'll see there the picture in the background was the last day of school last year when our boys won the Leinster final. So we've quite a good soccer team here in the school. We also partake in Gaelic football, hurling, volleyball. In school clubs, we would have a games club at lunchtime and after school, so board games, that kind of thing. And we're working on developing our library club at the moment. And we've touched on this a small bit, the student voice. So the student voice is really important to us here in Cloistehida. And those 4 groups there you see on the screen are the main groups that our students contribute to. So Corlin and Alti are our student council, and those students are voted by their peers. So there's 1 representative from each class, and they work on different things around the school. They were very central in the Glanmore Foods, the itemised bags, and they're now working on a mural for the school wall based on what Cloistehida means to them. Our Kinnery, we've already mentioned, they're our student mentors, they're 5th and 6th year students. They partake in a lot of training before they get the job, and they do some restorative practice, and they're there to support your students one-on-one, and they pop into their wellbeing classes as well to keep an eye. We also have our Green Schools Committee, or Thuistí Glas, and our Thuistí Gael Bratach, which promotes the Gaeilge in the school as well.
Ítach and Mar Louis Sarah sin an Gaeilge, and is rud ítach look for dún an seo an Gaeilge. So it's an integral part of who we are, and promoting Irish and the Gaelic tradition is a really important fundamental aspect of being a student in Cloistehida. And what we want to try and do is home in on the positive aspect of it, so that students improve their Gaeilge, their Severus Tanga, going forward from 1st to 6th year. We do have a policy in the Gaeilge regards to students that don't adhere to our strict rules regarding speaking Irish all the time. But as I said, we like to hone in on the Líochra Gael. These are our heroes that make the effort daily, inside class and outside class, regards to the promotion of our language. Our core values, our mass broad core, are a big aspect in relation to an Gaeilge, the respect for the language, the pride in being able to speak it, and promoting it in our community, and the working together on Níneart go Curla Chéile an Seanachil sin going with our fad ag gníomhú do chás na Gaeilge agus chás na tíre. COVID, I suppose it's important to mention that while things nationally are improving, it's probably evident enough that in September, regards to vaccines and that the students will be following the procedures that we have in place, and hopefully sometime in the year, whether it be January the following year, that the guidelines will be reduced. So we're following public health guidelines at present. We had a recent department inspection which were fully compliant. We have the students in base classes, so they're set in the rooms to reduce as much movement as possible. They will obviously have to move for the likes of options. We provide PPE, so anyone that doesn't have the mask and that, we assist them in providing with the masks. We have a good system in place for the sanitizing, so we have hand sanitizer outside of each classroom, but also in the classroom when students are moving, they have to sanitize their area, and the student that will come into their place will also have to do it, so that there is a deep cleaning involved in every kind of aspect or part of the school that we're functioning at the moment. Isolation room, which hasn't been used thankfully much, but is basically if someone shows symptoms during class, where we would go and bring them to the isolation room until parents are called. And this is all mentioned in our COVID response plan, which again will be on our website. So it's important to mention homework, and that in September that that good practice starts, and that we increase the workload then as the year goes on and from year to year. There should be homework every night, whether it be a mix of written work, the classroom-based assessment, research, reading, study, revision projects. So it could be a mix. It could be independent work, where we emphasize this with our teachers, that it's important that students are, whether it be working on projects, that it's student-led and that they're working on their interests and keeping them motivated. That students are learning from their mistakes. So when you're learning through Irish, my and student button Kena and the grammar Kena, so grammar mistakes, that we'll work with the students in trying to improve this as we go along. One of our school supports would be the homework club, where first years could stay after school and get a bit of assistance from a teacher that might supervise the homework club. I mentioned that the workload, so I would be expecting from about at least an hour homework through written work or through learning, that it should be about an hour, and this would gradually increase from year to year. It's important to mention that we are very cognizant of the fact that the students have missed a lot, and maybe some of the students weren't as engaged as other students throughout the Dean Glasso. And it's important, I think, that we will speak to the sixth class teachers and see what areas the curriculum mightn't be covered, and then we will speak to the first year teachers in bridging that gap. So that's something not to be that concerned about. Each term then we have assessments, and this would be on our VSWare report.
Our school policies there are available on our new website, so it's closhadahida.ie. So there you'll find our code of behaviour, our anti-bullying policy, any questions or queries you might have in child protection procedures, and as mentioned before, our inclusion policy in relation to AEN. So they'll all be available hopefully on the website tomorrow.
Sarah. And as I mentioned, communication is a massive aspect of who we are here in Coláiste. And our app Scola, which is a new initiative started as of recent, is a fundamental part of how we work. And again, as I mentioned, that we are communicating to home, and home are communicating back as much as possible. Through the app, we can work on things like notes to teachers, absentee notes, permission to leave early. We will have swipe cards hopefully in play from September to sign in, and if you are late in the morning, or if you have an appointment and you want to leave, that you swipe the card in, and the year head class teacher will get a notification, as will you at home. It's been great for consent forms, so when you're signing up for a school tour or given permission for a vaccine or for whatever, it's been super there. It's also been great for us sharing news. So if something happens in school, a team were successful, that were relaying that information, and also then notifications regards to reminders and that kind of thing. And it can be found easy enough if you go to your App Store, your Play Store, and you enter Coláiste de Híde. It should come up, and then you follow based on your mobile number. And if the numbers are matching, you follow the directions from there. Our school calendar is also on our app, so that you'll know what days we're off and so forth. So what's next going forward? You will receive a correspondence with information regards the costs, school calendar, app, and any other kind of point of information that we might have left out. I will be, along with the AEN coordinator, liaising with the primary schools on any important information. One or two of the schools mentioned that they will be on a walk visit that they might visit in June when the school here is kind of emptied, that they'll be able to come in and see the school more. And again, it'll reduce any possible worry or anxiety that might be amongst the students, coming to big school, I suppose, in September. All communication will be made on the app, so it's vitally important that we all sign up to the school app as soon as possible. And our first year induction is on the 27th of August, so that'll be our first day, and it'll be only first years in the building that day. So it'll give us time to give a good induction of how things work here, our rules, our school dealing, see the school, timetabling, that kind of thing. And that's a quick run through of our main areas that came through the questions, or that we felt were important to relay to you. I am sure there's many queries we didn't get to answer, and our Rooney, our secretary side, would be happy to answer anything there at olasecolaistedehide.ie. Myself or Sarah, any kind of individual concerns, would be delighted to answer any questions. We've our SEN coordinator. If there's any parents worried about any additional educational needs, concerns, Isabel would be very happy to answer you. Our yearhead is our Marcus, and our guidance counsellor, which is Pádraig. So, and they're the contact details for them that you can get in contact with us. As I said, we are really looking forward to Sulgamore Liva Ecol. We're really looking forward to meeting the students. We've met most of them, visiting the schools, and a few from the other schools have come and sat the Cat 4 with us here. So got a good chance to meet with them. As I said, we're really looking forward to it, and we'll be in contact in the next few weeks with another correspondence. Caramila Magi, asocht éisteach lin in you, agus bigi itagwa lin mata ein keshtela. So make sure to contact us if there's anything still outstanding. Have a good evening, Caramila Magi.